Hi, this is Kathy from Craft with Kathy. Thanks for joining me this evening. Have a quick little project doing some decoupage tonight for a change. If you are not familiar with decoupage, drop me a line and I'll explain as much as I can. Basically, it is an art form or a decor form that was developed in the 17th century in France, and it was used to decorate furniture with cutout pictures. So prints or pictures would be cut out and then applied to the furniture and covered with a couple layers of lacquer or whatever to get it to adhere. It actually comes from the French word découper. I'm probably mispronouncing it, which means to cut out. So that's a little bit of the history, but it's an easy way of decorating everyday things with something beautiful. So I've just used a little simple shape here. Our simple shapes come 4 in a package, 2 square 6x6 and 2 6-inch diameter circles. And I very lightly applied a layer of Mod Podge to my surface using this brush. I set it aside and let it dry. And when it was dry or no longer tacky, then I put another layer on. And in between, I just kept my brush in this little plastic baggie so that it didn't dry out. I mean, I know I need to wash it now before it dries, but let me just kind of roll this up to keep it moist and get it out of the way. I intended on only putting 2 coats on here, but I actually did put 3 because when I picked it up to check if the second coat was dry, it fell out of my fingers and dropped on the floor and smudged it a bit. So I threw another coat on that is still just slightly tacky to kind of smooth it out. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing with this. The idea, this is going to go in my lemon, or it's not necessarily going to go in my lemon tiered tray. It might go next to it. It might actually go in it. It really depends. I haven't put it together yet, and this is one of my last components to make up the lemon tiered tray. I'm coming at you from the suburbs west of Chicago. Drop me a line. Let me know where you're viewing from. How's the weather? How's the heat wave by you? It's currently, even though it's 9 o'clock at night here, it's still 86 degrees. I think we got up to 98 today. Such fun. And it's only June. Can you believe it? So you could use Mod Podge as your medium to adhere. Some people will use white glue that they might have watered down with a little bit of water. That really, it's up to you. But I'm doing this a little bit differently. Traditionally, decoupage is putting a layer of Mod Podge or some kind of glue, laying the cutout piece over it, and then smoothing it out and adding another top coat or multiple top coats of Mod Podge or another medium over the top. I'm going to do this a little bit differently tonight, and we are going to use an iron and actually a piece of freezer paper. So I saw these napkins and I thought, oh my goodness, wouldn't these be perfect with my lemon tiered tray? So I'm just trying to smooth out my little creases in my napkin. I thought this was so apropos for the lemon tiered tray. And most napkins, will be more than one layer. Oh, I had some glue on the bottom of my mat. Okay, so you want to separate the layers. Hopefully I didn't rip a hole in that when I ironed it. Okay. And then I'm going to apply this to my simple shape. And kind of get a feel for what I want to actually be the image on here. I think this will be good. Then I'm going to put my my parchment paper. Did I call it freezer paper before? I meant parchment paper. And then I'm going to basically iron it. And as I apply heat with my iron, I just have this set on a medium. It is actually liquefying the Mod Podge underneath it and causing the napkin to adhere to the wooden simple shape beneath it. And if this works properly, I won't need to add a coat on top. I could use it just the way it is. Unless, of course, I wanted to shine or something like that. So I want to make sure I've got it warm enough that it's causing it to melt, but not so warm that I cause the paper to burn. So I'm just moving this around a little bit to keep it going. And then we'll see how this turned out. I'm going to make sure I get the edges good because I'm going to tear or sand the edges. I could cut them, but I think why bother? It'd probably be easier to just tear or sand it. You want to obviously make sure this is nice and smooth as you're basically pressing it. And look it, I'm not melting anything like I've melted a pair of slacks before. Hence why I really don't like ironing. I've had a few surprises in my lifetime. You know, and a steam iron that I didn't know that was set to steam, and I was ironing polyester, and all of a sudden the steam came out, which, by the way, do not use steam when you're doing this, and it was shh, and melted the polyester. No fun. Okay, this looks like it's stuck nicely. Let me move my iron to the side and actually turn it off. I'm going to let this cool for a moment, and then I'm going to take my sanding block and just sand the edges. So what temperature is it by you? Oh, I don't know if I should rip or sand. I'm betwixt in between. How about if I do this? Because I wanted a little bit of a tattered look. I think this might give me it. Aren't these beautiful napkins? Now, obviously, you can use any napkins that you want. Just make sure that you only put one layer down, separate it if it's multiple plies, and just use the one layer. This is still a little warm. Probably should have waited for it to cool a little bit. But isn't this a quick, easy way to do decoupage? And do a little bit of sanding around the edges to smooth it out and remove any excess paper. This went around a little bit to the back. Let me get it off of there. Now, I suppose this could be used as a few different things. I would say if you wanted to use it for something more than just visual decor, like if you wanted to use it as a trivet or something, it could be done, but I would definitely advise putting some coats of varnish or something on top of it to protect it from the heat and any moisture, because obviously putting a hot surface on here might have an impact. But how is that? How cute, quick, and easy just to create this little lemon piece of decor to go along with some of the other things that I have for my lemon tier tray. Oops. I had my little gnomes out here. I guess they took a little walk. I am just making a little piece of decor to go on my lemon tier tray, and I'm going to put this in either one of my bases from my board and base, or one of the little mini bases that this fits in. I don't know if I'm going to actually put it inside the tray with other things in front of it, or just line it up outside of the tray. Haven't really, we'll see when I get everything together. And it's just plain, basically a simple shape that I added 2 layers, or actually in my case 3 layers of Mod Podge, very light layers to it. Let it dry, put the napkin, the 1-ply napkin, to, you know, the plies off, just use the top layer over it, and then put a piece of parchment paper and ironed it on. How simple and quick was that? What do you think? Think you might like to try Decoupage? Check out Napkins when you're shopping. There are so many beautiful things out there that you could do some very interesting home decor pieces and coordinate with some other elements in your home. Thank you so much for watching this evening. I surely do appreciate it. Any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'm always here to help out and answer any questions. If there's anything in particular that you'd like to see that you haven't seen, or any type of projects, please let me know. Obviously, generally, I primarily do a lot of chalking here or inking, but I'm open to any and all other types of crafting also. Thanks so much for stopping by. I surely appreciate it. See you soon.